Hello, comrades, and welcome to Spearsy Spin. I will be your host this night. My name, I've been bad enough. First, we hear Russian music, maybe dance a bit. Then, tonight, we talk about Mother Russia. Now, there's a lot of talk about collusion. Is no collusion. No, in my country, we do not allow collusion. No, this is white propaganda from United States. I have to leave for a bit. I'll be back.
You are now listening to The Spearsy Spin with your host, Mike Spears.
Hi, folks, and welcome to The Spearsy Spin. Friday, May 12th, 2017. Well, looks like old I've Been Bad Enough has left the building. I guess he's on his way to the liquor store before it closes so he can get some of that great old Russian vodka. It's made from potatoes and old shoes, I think. So it's going to be just me here this evening, and we'll be talking about Russia and her spies. Well, you've heard of the Russian spies Boris and Natasha, but tonight we want to introduce you to another spy. Her name is Anna Chapman. And, well, that's the name that she goes by anyway, because typically Russian spies who come here to the United States take up the identities of dead people. Now, Miss Chapman is somewhat of a television star and lingerie model back in Moscow. However, she was far from the Russian lights and television screens in and around Moscow just a bit ago. You see, Anna Chapman is an exact Russian spy. Now, she, along with her subordinates, were working on an undercover mission right here in the United States, actually here in the great state of New York. But she and other Russian spies were caught, this is just last year, by the FBI. Their mission? Well, it was to penetrate foreign policy circles. One of the ways that they do this is to try to become friends and possibly lovers of those working in the intelligence divisions. Now, from these relationships, the spies try to uncover tasty tidbits of classified information, and then they report back to Mother Russia. However, we have here in the United States the FBI's counterintelligence agency. Counterintelligence? That's weird. I always thought it was a counterintelligence agency. Oh, well. It was this agency that had caught wind of the group snooping here in the United States, and the FBI also knew that they wanted to get their hands on the most sensitive data that they could. But try as they may, our FBI took them down before any classified information could be obtained by them. The FBI said that the red-headed Chapman was much more than a seductive femme fatale. She is a highly trained intelligence officer, also noting that Chapman is a new breed of spies. For example, she is tech-savvy and capable of spying in plain sight. According to FBI sources, Chapman and her comrades were the cream of the crop, handpicked out of the Russian Intelligence Academy because of their fluency in languages and their ability to acclimate into another society. Now, the FBI had placed hidden cameras for surveillance in many locations to view the spies' operations. In the videos, the FBI learned, among other things, that the Russian infiltrators were hiding messages under bridges where they were secretly trading information for money. ABC News had filed a Freedom of Information request for the videos, and they were released by the FBI Monday. The FBI claimed that Chapman and her fellow spies seemed to live a routine, middle-class life. All of their members spoke fluent English, and many had attended U.S. colleges and graduate schools. A few of the spies had married each other, had children, and they assumed American middle-class lives. While the spies were living the Ozzie and Harriet lifestyle here in the United States, they also kept busy searching for U.S. top-level contacts. The FBI also related other incidents, including Chapman sending encrypted messages with a specially equipped laptop.
Back after these messages.
You listen when your body says, "I'm tired," or "I'm hungry." Are you listening? Would you listen if your body said, "I have pain and pressure in my abdomen. I feel bloated for no good reason," or "I get too full too fast"? "I'm spotting, but I've already gone through menopause." Or, "I have to go to the bathroom more often and more urgently than usual." These can be signs of a gynecologic cancer, like cervical, ovarian, uterine, vaginal, and vulvar cancers. Symptoms aren't the same for everyone. If your body says something may be wrong, please listen. And if it goes on for 2 or more weeks, see a doctor. It may be nothing, but find out for sure. Learn the symptoms and get the inside knowledge about gynecologic cancers. Call 1-800-CDC-INFO.
Tell your friends and neighbors about the Spearsy Spin.
I have a message from Mike Spears at the Spearsy Spin. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you're looking for a quality show, I can tell you I have no class. But what I do have is a very particular set of radio skills. These skills make this show a favorite for people like you. If you subscribe now, that will be the end of it. If you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will bug you until you subscribe.
One of the FBI surveillance tapes shows Chapman. She's at a department store and apparently transmitting messages to another spy who would stand outside the store. That way they were never together, so you can never, kind of put 2 and 2 together, I guess. Now, the FBI captured, and of course this is via wirelessly, the communications between Chapman and the other spy. And then from this, the FBI learned that there were 6 locations throughout New York that Chapman used to transmit and receive messages. And in an effort to transmit information without being outed, the information was encrypted. Now, the FBI isn't dumb, and they were able to break this code, and it was downhill for Chapman and the other spies from there. And in an effort to get closer to the spy group, the FBI was able to place an informant into the spy ring, and at one point, Chapman even hands her laptop to the informant, so he can fix some technical problems that she was having. But what she didn't know, that the problem she was having with her laptop was because of what the FBI had done to her computer. So the FBI has dubbed the operation that caught Chapman and her colleagues as Ghost Stories. Because many of the Russian spies assumed the stolen identity of dead Americans. The FBI says we were dealing with the most sophisticated cadre the Russians could put here. The Russians were in it for the long haul. They even were willing to wait decades to achieve their objective. And when the Cold War ended, That didn't mean it was the end of, spying. I mean, whether we were spying on them and they're spying on us. But the United States and Russia, we've always been spying, I guess. And the public needs to know that the threat of communism continues. And, spying's been around since the Old Testament, and spying is with us now. Federal prosecutors have now issued grand jury subpoenas to associates of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, and they're seeking business records as part of the ongoing probe of Russian meddling in last year's election. Now, the FBI has launched an even bigger investigation into possible ties between Trump associates and Russia. There's also subpoenas out for these same Trump associates. In the meantime, a gentleman by the name of Robert Kellner, who's an attorney for Michael Flynn, has declined to comment on these subpoenas. And the U.S. Attorney's Office in Alexandria, along with the Justice Department and the FBI itself, well, they've also declined comment.
Don't go away. We have to pay some bills, and then we're coming back with Mike Spears.
But why should I get tested for colon cancer? I don't have any symptoms.
Of cancers affecting both men and women, colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer in the United States. And it doesn't always cause symptoms, especially early on.
But I'm only 53. I'm too young.
Screening is recommended for men and women beginning at 50.
But no one in my family had colon cancer. It doesn't run in my family.
Most colorectal cancers occur in people with no family history of the disease.
But that test...
There are several kinds of screening tests for colorectal cancer. Talk to your doctor about which one is right for you.
I've been screened, and it turned out I had polyps. And the doctor removed them before they had a chance to turn into cancer.
No buts about it. This is one cancer you can prevent. If you're 50 or older, talk to your doctor and get screened for colorectal cancer. Screening saves lives.
Tell your friends and neighbors about the Spearsy Spin.
The AIDS Drug Assistance Program is a bipartisan program designed to make sure that people in need living with HIV/AIDS in America can receive the drugs they must have to stay alive. But present economic problems have stretched this program beyond its ability to meet the rising need. So thousands of Americans languish on growing waiting lists, not knowing if tomorrow will bring help or sickness. And while they wait, they get sicker. They cost taxpayers billions in lost productivity and prolonged hospital stays, and some will die. Is that moral? Is that American? Does that make any sense? Contact your member of Congress today and ask them to fully fund the AIDS Drug Assistance Program. Let's end the waiting lists. This time, it really is a matter of life or death. For more information, contact the ADAP Advocacy Association at info@adapadvocacyassociation.org.
There appears to be deep concern in the U.S. defense agencies that Russia's growing aggression toward the United States has deepened. The U.S. government feels that the Russians intend to snoop on Americans or to sabotage key U.S. systems, and that, of course, is according to an ABC News investigation. Now, here is the kicker. This is the thing that makes zero sense to me. Products from the Russian-based company known as Kaspersky, it's a lab based in Moscow, provide products that are widely used in homes and businesses and government agencies throughout the United States. And this Kaspersky lab products are now being bought from stores like Target and Best Buy. Forgive my voice. And you can also buy laptops that are loaded by manufacturers with this Russian firm's antivirus software. How could that possibly make sense? Yes, it all makes good sense. Not. Meanwhile, President Trump has hired a Washington law firm to send a letter to the Senate Judiciary Committee saying that he has no connections to Russia. And that's what Sean Spicer talked about at his news conference. But in the meantime, Senator Lindsey Graham has remarked that he wants to look into whether Trump has any business dealings with Russia. President Trump has said that he's fine with that because he has no business in Russia and he has no connections to Russia, so he welcomes all that, according to Sean Spicer. So here we are trying to pin the tail on the Russian connection. But here's the problem. The American people are fed up with these dumbass investigations. These investigations have gone on for so long and are so dry that they make about as much sense as sending carrots to market by rabbit. Plus, the FBI has already divulged to the Senate and Congress that there ain't no evidence. So, why all the hoopla? The answer is the far-reaching Democratic left, along with the liberal boneheads in Hollywood, want to sniff the ground and bark at the moon in an effort to find something to use against Trump. But one of my all-time favorite sayings to people like this is, what does it cost to be right? So while Democrats are chanting, Russia, 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 and we're spending all these hours and dollars for the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, we have the Senate Intelligence Committee, and all these places doing these investigations. They've been doing the investigations, and they come up with the same answer. Isn't it about time to say, look, we're going to keep investigating until next Thursday at 1 o'clock. If we have something, good. If we don't, we're done. Well, in this scenario, the left has doubled and tripled down on its assertion that there was and is credible proof that Donald Trump is in collusion with them there Russian folk. The CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and the Congress and the Senate have found nothing. Because there is nothing. If there was, it would have been found by now. The only thing that the Democrats have done is to make their own party members leave to either go over to the Republicans or to the independent ticket. Because most Democrats that I've heard, talk to, and are close to, say this is not our Democratic Party. That's not who we are. It's not what we do, and we do not want to be aligned with all this craziness. So already the wacky protest, along with the continuing rhetoric, has now become deaf to those who will no longer hear it. And the news reports on the marches and protests against Trump on TV can no longer be seen by those who are now blinded by the last 100-day assault of the president. Unless the Democratic Party gets on board with the right message and reconnects with Mr. and Mrs. America, the Democrats will continue to lose seats in both houses and will not be afforded an opportunity even to have a snowflake's chance in hell at winning the presidential race in 2020. That's our show for tonight. You know what we think. Now, we'd like to know what you think. So please visit us at thespearsyspin.blogspot.com and let us know what you think about tonight's show. Be respectful, because you never know. What you write there today could be in Monday's show. As always, thank you for tuning us in and for all your kind words and notes. We really like reading what you have to say. Remember, there's only one world. We all got to live in it. So do one small thing today to make the world a little better. We'll look for all of you on Monday. See you, folks.
Thanks for listening to today's show.